All right, are you ready?
Mhm.
All right, let's do it. Go.
Okay. What
Yes.
does it actually look like when you're leveraging your energetic system to grow income in your business?
What does it look like? Okay, so I'll tell you what, like when I say that, what people, I think the misunderstanding around this or the misconception
Mm.
around this is that it is just something woo, 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 like I'm conjuring something up in the air somewhere and there's some sort of magical thing, which actually part of it is quite magical, that is happening, or that it is about not doing anything and then something will appear out of the thin air, or like what other misconception do I hear about this, that you don't need to take action and then things will happen for you and stuff like that. But like when it comes to what I mean by leveraging your energetic system for even like increasing your income, even when I'm talking about like attracting clients in your business, and like all the things around it. For me, it's very practical. Actually, it's very esoteric, but also very practical when you look at it. Like when it comes to business growth, for example, or when it comes to increasing your income, it is very
Mhm.
simple. The fact of the matter is there are just a few things that need to happen, right? That have to happen for you to increase your income in your business. And it has a lot to do with people knowing who you are, people finding out about you, you making your offers, like you making yourself available to receive money and all the things around it. And so when I start talking about the energetic system, what I'm really talking about is like all the things that lead to that, right? A lot of times when we
Okay.
talk, even when we're talking about taking action, for example, somebody like you may have made a decision that you want to create xyz in your business, right? Like it's in between what happens between like I made a decision and like I actually have created it. That's where like a lot of us fall, right? And that's where for me utilizing my energetic system comes into play. Like when you have to face your emotions, for example, when you're so afraid people are going to judge you, when you are, it's like when you are doing something or you're taking action and then you're not seeing the results yet and you feel like you want to give up. All of that you can trace back to your energetic system. All of that you can literally utilize your energetic system if you know what your energetic system is, right? If you know what is what in your energetic system, to really propel you to create fuel so that in these moments you're able to like cruise through them, right? And even like maybe we'll go there later, but like even like in the heart, like a lot of the time, a lot of times when we're showing up, like our heart also can get hurt very easily.
Oh,
And
yes, it
shut
does.
down, yeah, we can shut down to receiving, to allowing ourselves to, allowing ourselves from receiving or even having the will to keep going, right? All
Mm.
that you can trace back into your energetic system. So for me, it's very logical, right? Like now I call myself a mathematician because I am. For some reason, I forgot I was. For me, like I have a very logical mind, and then and then I add, this really, it's something that you can really trace back. I have studied this, I have practiced this, and it doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too. Well, let me ask you this. How does fear of judgment show up in your field? And how do you move energy so you can still take action?
Oh, that one is big. Actually, that one is very big. When it comes to like, you can even look at it from the perspective of your solar plexus and all your lower energy centers. If you pay attention, right? If you pay attention, when it comes to fear of judgment, for example, that's like something happened. Like I made a video recently, which I shared on YouTube, where like a part of it was before I made that video, there was a huge fear of judgment that was coming through that. So like what I kept doing was I wanted to postpone. I wanted to, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. What I've realized is that when we're so stuck in fear of judgment, you can actually feel it in your body, right? You can feel it in your tummy. You can feel it in your, like in your solar plexus area. It becomes so tight, right? It becomes so tight. For me, not only does it become so tight, it's like my bowels, it gets so extreme, my bowels don't move. Like when your
Oh,
third chakra
wow.
is shut down, your bowel,
Yeah.
because you're stressed out, right? Because
Yes.
especially like when you are overthinking, like let's say for example, you made the decision that you want to increase your, your income to a certain level, and you're trying to figure out, how do I do it, how do I not do it? And then maybe somebody says, oh, they want to sign up, and like, or maybe you made an offer, nobody's biting, and all these things and then just like, you in your head, you just keep being in your head a lot, right? That definitely impacts your solar plexus. And what ends up happening, this is all right, I've seen this over and over and over again. So
Mm-hmm.
then it impacts your solar plexus area energetically. Your solar plexus might become tight. If you like me, you may get into like indigestion, like constipation, which then
Right.
exasperates everything, because once your body starts reacting like that, all of a sudden you're not following through with anything you started before. You start
Very
losing
true.
your will to
Mm-hmm.
to even take action. It very easily can, like what's called personal power, very easily it's like it's like relying on other people to make decisions for you. It's their fault, blah blah blah, right? That's not a lot of power, right? And to make it even worse, usually when that is like when the solar plexus start getting tight like that, it also affects all like your first and second energy centers. Then you start leaking energy. You start really getting into like into this space where you don't feel focused, right? And all these things. Then, of course, then it makes it harder for you to really focus, because like when I think about business growth, when I think about even like creating or increasing your income, there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of focus that needs to be, like you have to be focused,
Yes,
right? You have to
absolutely.
have your mind focused
Mm-hmm.
on your whatever it is that you're creating. Let's say, for example, you have like an income goal, right? Like whether you are at 5K months or 10K months, and maybe you want to go to 15K months or 20K months, right? There's a certain level of my mind is focused, right? Not that
Yes.
it has to happen right now, right here, but at the very least, my mind is focused on creating something. My mind is focused on you know, uh, like maybe even creating transformation for my clients. If
Right.
the mind is not focused, what ends up happening is a lot of the times then our mind is distracted by maybe hurt, pain, worries, and all the. And I'm always looking at it from the perspective is energy is what creates, right? Like if you're like wherever our energy is, is being distracted towards, uh, it's like that's what creates. Right? And so like the more we are able to focus, the more focused energy we can really allocate towards our, and that has a lot. Like I, it has so much to do with your energetic system, right?
Yes.
Has so
Mm-hmm.
much to do with your energetic system. And
Right.
sometimes, like in the past, when I didn't know this, I blamed myself. I actually felt guilty. Why am I, like really blamed myself? Why am I not able to follow through with my actions? Like why am I starting one thing and then jumping to another and jumping? Why is this not happening to me? Right? For me, right? Why is this not happening for me? Because I was just jumping from one thing to another, right? I didn't have focused energy. Why? Because I couldn't handle how it felt like when maybe I was rejected. Like I didn't have that
Mm.
power to hold myself within myself or to
Yes.
even manage my energy
Mm.
or I mean my emotions.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So how do you move energy so you can still take action?
How do I move energy so I can still take action? Okay. So I look at moving energy with like it's almost like okay, like the question itself is a little bit okay, so how do I move energy? So let's take it one, like, let's split this question into two, okay?
Yes.
How do we move energy towards a goal or a vision? For me, moving
Mm-hmm.
energy towards a goal and a vision it's done on like several layers. Mind layer, like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm thinking about that vision, like, am I
Right.
focused on it, or am I focused on, is my mind thinking of the fact that I don't have it, for example? It's like with our mind, we move energy a lot, right? With our mind, we move energy a lot.
Right.
Also with our actions, right? Not just
Mm-hmm.
the mind, with our action, we move energy a lot. And then we can even go into the whole field of, which I talk about all the time. It's like, yes, your mind and your action, but there's also one very important thing that connects both, which is your energy body, which is the energy, which some actually talk like maybe it's put into, like the emotional body. If it's not activated, then it's like two things are happening, but there's no connection, right? So
Right.
that's how I look at it from that perspective. So when it comes to taking action for me really still comes down to having the energy to do so, right? And taking action for me really has a lot to do with lower energy centers. If I'm completely depleted in my lower energy centers, I feel drained. I don't feel like I want to take action. I'm very overwhelmed by my emotions. And I don't even want to, I keep postponing it. I keep procrastinating. I keep doing all these things. I keep being in my mind. I keep second guessing myself. I keep doing all these things and I'm not taking action. Right. And if that's happening, right, then no result. Oftentimes it's no result. And then oftentimes when in the past when no results, like, let me remove this block, blah, blah. No, 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 no. Like for me, it's like, are you willing to look at what's happening here? The truth of what's happening right here, right now. Like what's
Yes.
happening
Mm-hmm.
inside of your body, what's happening in your emotions, what's happening in your habits, like what are the actions that you are taking, right? And if you are willing to really look into, for me, that's what it looks like. If I'm willing to look into my energetic system in my present and my habits, and like, am I taking action or am I not taking action? What are my emotions doing? What is my body doing? And managed from all different levels. Actually, sometimes it takes just will. Like sometimes it takes just like really having the decision, making the decision to do it, and then it can impact like all layers. It can impact physical, emotional, and even like mental and spiritual,
Right. Right.
whatever. Yeah, all
Right.
layers. Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Well, let's talk about heartbreak in business, client
Heartbreak in business.
disappointments, betrayals,
Yeah.
broken expectations. How does that affect your energy system? And what do you do with it?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay,
Like,
we're talking about heartbreak in business, such as
no,
client
heartbreak. Oh,
disappointments.
heartbreak in
Yes, heart
business.
in
Yeah.
business,
When
such
your
as
heart
client
gets broken.
disappointments. Yes,
Yeah.
betrayals,
Yeah.
broken expectations.
Yeah.
How does that affect your energy system? And what do you do with it?
Okay. So by that, how does that impact my energy system and also
Mm-hmm.
my business? That will be
Mm-hmm.
the implication. And how do you deal with it?
Right.
Whoa, that's a big question. So how does that, I guess it can be on many, many layers.
Mm-hmm.
I've had quite a few heartbreaks in business myself, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my very first heartbreak. That was very dramatic. It really was dramatic. Not because like it was a traumatic event that happened. It was traumatic internally for myself. It's like
Right.
it
Mm-hmm.
was so like I was so heartbroken about it. And I remember that at the time, because I not I think I know the reason why it happened. The reason why it happened was because like really like I was putting kind of like my value in somebody else's perception of me, right? And that was really like big growth for me. That was
Yeah,
really huge awakening, huge growth for me.
that's really deep.
Yes, but it was
Mm-hmm.
really painful to go through. It
Yeah.
was really painful to go through. And I know that at the time when it happened, basically what happened was all of the sudden, like I was so like it was like It was at the beginning of my business, okay? So like for me, people liking me was the big deal. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like I like to be liked and all these things around it. And like there was this lady who came into my home, and all of a sudden, like she loved everything I did, and which was great until it wasn't anymore, because all of a sudden, I was the devil. In her eyes, all of a sudden I was the devil, and then really not very pretty things happened after that. I learned very, very good lessons from that, but I was heartbroken. And after that, what I realized is that like now I can look back and I see clearly what it was. But at the time, it was too painful, and I was just in the midst of it, you know? And and I didn't do this consciously either, but I noticed that all of a sudden, like I was doing all these things not to get clients, you know? I was like literally, because I was
Wow.
so shut down.
Yeah.
I closed
Mm-hmm.
down. I closed down because it felt so painful, and because like I guess a part of me
Yeah.
feeling like somebody else is going to come into my space. This is going to happen again, and it's going
Yeah.
to break my heart. I don't want it to happen. And even though I was doing all
Mm-hmm.
the things on the surface, right, on the things, all the things, all the the strategy, and sometimes I even if I'm being honest, there were times where I didn't even want to do the things, because like, oh, somebody else is going to come, and then it's going to, like that's how much broken I was. But obviously it wasn't about her at all, at all. It was really my process of growth and my process of understanding myself as well, and really owning my value. And even along the way now, like I had to drop that very quickly, because otherwise there's no growth, right? That's also the other thing, because this is something I had to really awaken to, drop, right? And realize that, oh my God, yeah, some people might like you, some people might not like you, but your work is not based on whether people like you or not.
So true.
Yeah, it's like,
That
that's
is
not why
true.
you're here, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's not why. That's not why. Like I understood that, and it brought a certain level of freedom as well. It really
Yes.
did brought
Yes.
a
Yes.
certain level of like detachment. Even though you can also care, right? Even though, and also like that's actually, there's many layers to this. So after that happened, I really shut down, right? Like when you
Mm-hmm.
shut down like that, and this can happen in even like in regular life, like with like partners, or with like loved ones, brothers, sisters, things like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we shut down, it's like you can't just shut down on one side and then be like, oh, in business it's going to be okay,
That
right?
is so
It's like
true.
it's just one
It's
heart here, yeah,
yes.
just one
Yes.
energy center. And then actually, when you start looking at it, it really does feel like almost like a wall, right? Like the energy around is like a
Yeah.
wall
Yeah.
around, right? So like
Yeah.
when you have a wall, then you can't let people in. What that really means is that you can't really fully give as well, or
Mm.
receive.
Right.
I
Right.
think for me that was the worst part, was
Yeah.
that I realized, like it's so shut down,
Yeah.
right? It's so shut down that I can't circulate the energy. And so for
Right.
me, like what I do is it's very energetic. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know if we will have, I've been thinking about making a video for like what I do, like energetically, to release that, cold energy actually around
That
the
would be
chest.
interesting.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
do, I'll put it in the description somewhere. Otherwise, at
Right.
some point, I'll share that video. And it's something that I do regularly actually now, to really cleanse. It's
Mm-hmm.
cleanse the world. It's the word. I don't know. It's really to release any stagnant energy that
Right.
we may, because a lot happens all the time,
All the time.
day. Yeah.
All the time. That is
All the
so true.
time. All the
Yes.
time.
That is so true.
And
And mhm,
yeah.
yeah. I love your share, what you shared,
Yeah.
because so many people get affected by this and they really don't know what to do with it. So that's really interesting. often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only do we not know what to do, sometimes we're not even aware that that's what's happening. Now I have become so sensitive that when it's
Yeah.
happened, and it's happened to me over and over and again, even though it's like, I guess it's a process of growth. Now my tolerance level is like this high compared to before, but it
Yeah.
happens where, like you get heartbroken. The last time it happened, I think was maybe less than a year ago. It was so intense that like I could feel the pain in my chest and in my upper back. Like it was so
Wow.
intense. I
Wow.
could feel the pain in my chest, and I knew exactly what it was. And I was just breathing through it. And then obviously I did the practice that I definitely will put that practice in the description, the forgiveness practice.
That would be
Yeah,
great.
now I have to share it. Definitely will put it in the description for people to access it, because I do it all the time,
Right,
Our
right.
mind, yeah, usually like heartbreak really means that how I understand it is like there's something about me that like I needed to understand more.
Mm-hmm,
Right?
mm-hmm.
It's just like maybe there's some sort of expectation that wasn't met and stuff like that.
Right.
But usually it's not the other person, it's me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, regardless of
Absolutely.
whether you want to
Absolutely
look
know
at
what you
it
mean.
as from the
Mm-hmm.
outside, it may be like, well, they hurt me, blah, blah, blah. But like, can we look underneath all of that? Can we look
Right,
underneath
right.
all of that and see, what is it that I needed to learn? What is it that, right? And obviously, there's emotional part of it that we don't want to discredit, right? Which is why for me, it's very energetic. It's like, okay, it happened. Okay, I got a shock. Oh, my chest is hurting right now. Oh, like I can feel the walls going up,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And it
yes.
even got worse. At some point, I realized that it had healed a little bit. I had released that a little bit. But the bigger thing for me was then, oh, this one was big as well. I wouldn't allow myself to fully care about the people who come into my space. Basically, I
Oh.
had like this, yes, I care, but I care like
Mm-hmm.
this. It's like I care, but I have a
Yes, kind of guarded.
yes, very
Yeah,
guarded, right?
yeah.
And I could still function that way, and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
impacting my business because my business was still growing.
Right.
But then there was one time where this person came into my realm, and she was literally bombarding me with so much love and so much like a client. And I was like, yeah, this is about to happen again. But it was such a huge lesson, because
Mm-hmm.
what I realized is that I wouldn't allow myself to receive.
Mm. Mm.
I wouldn't have allowed myself to receive somebody caring about me, somebody
Right.
loving me, somebody sharing,
Yes. Yes.
and that is no way to live, in my
No,
opinion. Yeah,
no.
there is really no way to live. And in reality, right, like it's because like we're living because we're so afraid of being hurt. And
Yeah.
in reality, again, like there's no way to live, right?
Right.
So like,
And kind of when we allow ourselves to just be and to bring those walls down, it's so freeing. And we realize that, wow, this love, it emanates from us and we receive it and
yeah,
it just everything just feels so glorious,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
When we allow.
When we
Yeah.
allow, yeah,
Yeah,
but
when we
like
allow.
things shit happens in life all the time. That's when I realized, right? That's what
Uh-huh.
I like. And also I guess I have to say there's like a level of receiving. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, because like I
Hmm.
could receive from others if the level was like not too much, not too intense,
Right, right.
right? I've never thought of it this way. Come to think of it, right? But like
Hmm.
hers was so much,
Yes.
so much, so much. And
Yeah.
I was like, she's an amazing human being. She has a heart, like she just pours, pours, pours. And I'm,
Yes, yeah.
who's this person? Right? Like, who is this person? And what I realized, that was another huge, like every single human that has come into my realm on this journey
Hmm.
has brought me
Hmm.
so much. What I learned
Yeah.
from now that experience was that you have to be able to feel pain. You have to will to feel pain. You have to be willing to feel pain if you
Yes.
also want to feel love and joy
Hmm.
and all the other things. If you want to, like, you can't really fully feel joy, fully feel love, fully feel all the other things around it if you're not willing to feel pain, right? So
Oh.
yes, and so with her,
Mm-hmm.
huge, it was so big for me. With her, what I realized when I was going through, I was really watching myself and observing myself. And when that aha came to me, I even told her. And I realized, this is what it is. I'm so afraid that if I allow this myself to completely receive this, right,
Mm-hmm.
I it might be painful. It
Wow.
might be
Wow.
painful if it's no longer coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I had to really make a conscious decision that pain actually is okay.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're sharing this because as you're sharing it, I could feel something shifting in me. Absolutely.
Good.
Yes, I could feel something shifting in me because oftentimes we're struggling with so much and we struggle with it in the quiet of our very beings. And it's so important that people get to hear this. And so I'm so thankful that you were sharing this. I want to ask you another question about personal power, right?
Yes.
It's a buzzword every day now. You hear about personal power, right?
Yeah.
What does it feel like in your body when you're in your power? And how do you get back there when you're not, when you're off track?
When I'm off track, how do I
Yeah.
get back there? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what does it feel like when I'm in my personal power? Like
Mm-hmm.
I really feel my core so engaged. Like I feel like nothing can stop me. Like really, like I feel
Ooh.
like when I am in my personal power, I feel like uh that person can say anything and I'll be okay. Right? I feel like I can fail and I'll be okay. I
Mm.
feel like I'm willing to fail in order to win. I feel like that's what it feels like. And also when I'm in my person, which is really hard for me actually, when I'm in my personal power, because the more I have developed this, the easier it has become for me to be in my own intuition and make my own decisions and stick to my own decision without having to ask anybody's opinion. It's good to be like that, but sometimes I think the flip side to that is I don't listen to anybody. It's hard for me to. I'm too stubborn. I'm too stubborn, so I don't listen to. I don't want to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Which there's always room. Like my husband always said, nobody tells the Dihessa what to do. Okay. Yeah, but like when I am in my personal, it feels very strong. It feels very
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
empowered. It feels very, like it feels like, oh, I can make any decisions and I can
Yeah.
follow
Yeah.
through. I can trust myself to follow through with my word. I can trust myself to follow through with my actions. Right. Even though I may fall, I can get back up and then just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm in my personal power, it really it's like I'm very focused when I'm my
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very, very focused. It's very related to like in the energetic system, you can really trace that back to your third and second chakra, actually.
Mm.
Right? Like being
Okay.
in your power, it's almost like being so anchored. Both of them are
Yes.
very, very kind
Yes.
of tightly connected, right? One with
Right.
the other. It's like being in your power, right?
Mm.
And when I'm completely depleted, when that soul system is upside down, you should see me. It's a mess.
And when you get into those messy zones, how
Yes.
do you get back?
Oh, for me, it's easy. It's just get
Mm-hmm.
back to my body. Because I
Yes.
know exactly what to do with my third chakra. I know exactly what to do with my second chakra, how to charge up, I know exactly what to do. Right? I can
Yeah.
observe
Yeah.
myself getting out of control. I can literally
Right.
watch myself get out of control, laugh about it, sometimes cry about it, and then know
Right.
exactly what to come back to. Right? And then, but the interesting thing is sometimes you can watch yourself being out of control, but you just
Mm-hmm.
want to be right, and you don't like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just don't. You just want to be right, and you don't
Yes.
care.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
you don't
even
care.
though
Yeah, even though
everything is pointing
exactly,
to, yeah. You,
exactly. And
mm-hmm.
like sometimes I let it linger a little bit longer. It's like being human is so complicated sometimes, won't you say? So it's like you know exactly. You can
Absolutely.
watch yourself. You're like,
Absolutely.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
now. Until it becomes unbearable and you have no choice but to go
Yes.
from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the sake of those who are listening,
Yeah.
I want you to kind of explain how what I know what you do, but I want you to just in a very short description tell us what you do to get you back, to feel in your inner strength, to feel in your determination, to trust in yourself.
Yeah. So what do I do? You mean like do you want me to describe exactly what I
Just a little description, yes,
in a nutshell?
in a
So basically
nutshell.
it's like, okay, you can look at it from the perspective. I think the very first thing, especially when I'm out of control, when you're out of
Mm-hmm.
control,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the times your mind is outside of your body. Like your mind and your body are completely disconnected. It's like like my mind is 1 mile away from my my body. Okay, like literally, I think that's the very first thing that needs to happen is bringing your mind back to your body, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
actually there are easier things that you can do as well, easier, well, relatively, at the very least some things that you can like do, even if you're not doing the energetic practice that I do. You can even
Right.
like maybe go to the park and take a walk or run,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or do
Mm-hmm.
something that, right, or shake your body, do something that brings your mind back to your body.
Yes.
At the
Yeah.
very least, that'll be the very, very first step to making that happen. Is the very least come back into your house. Like
Yes.
your
Yes.
body is your
Into your
house.
temple.
Into your
Yes.
temple, exactly. At the
Yes.
very least, come back to your house, so that at the very least, like I look at it from the perspective of like a lot of the times, like in your house, if I saw somebody give this reference a while back. Like if you have a house and then you're outside of the house all the time, which we are, like I'm the queen
Mm-hmm.
of being outside of my
Mm-hmm.
house.
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, Meaning like your house, your body, right?
Yeah.
If you have a house and your habit is to check out of your house. I don't like being in this house. It's so painful to be in this house. Especially for like people who have like, even pain in their body or
Yeah.
heartache, or like
Mm-hmm.
we want to just distract ourselves and have our mind be elsewhere than our bodies, right? But then when we come back inside of the body, right, if there were like dust and everything everywhere, then you start feeling the dust and the web, whatever you call it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you then have two choices. You either stay in the body, you stay in the house and clean it up,
Mm-hmm.
or you check out again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
time we do check out.
Do check out.
Yeah.
You do check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I
Folks,
think
it's time,
checking
it's
in
time to
and
come home.
cleaning, yeah. Checking
Yeah.
in and cleaning is a choice that has to be made, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, it really has
Yes.
to be a conscious choice, right? Because I think habitually, for all of us, habitually is no, I don't want to deal with this. I prefer not
Mm-hmm.
to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't feel good. I'll maybe
Yeah.
numb myself instead.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're doing so many, like I catch myself doing this because our mind is so good. Like it's so good. It can find
Mm-hmm.
so many like little, you won't even know that that's what it's doing, right? Like it can find little really tricky ways, to yeah. Well, to get
Yeah.
back to your question, yes, I think the
Mm-hmm.
first thing is at the very least come back to your house, come back inside of your body, so you can really observe what's happening, right? The second thing for me is like really I utilize my energetic system quite a bit, like every day. That's always because I know like I can really trace back in my life, like anything that's like, can you believe anything that's happening in your circumstances? It's like you can really trace that back to your energetic system every single time. Every single time, right? It doesn't mean that if you don't know how your energetic system works, you are doomed. I'm not saying that, but like it's such a huge and beautiful tool to know yourself in that way. And then, like, when you know yourself in that way, you can really almost like self-diagnosis every time. Like when even in business, when you're doing something and it feels like, this is not good, like you can, okay, step back, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And look at it. what is
Mhm.
happening? Is it that I'm not following through my actions? Is it that my mind is focused on other things? Is it that, like what else? Like my emotions are all over the place. What is it?
Right, right,
Yeah, yeah,
right. Reassess. Mhm.
that's what I was saying.